Welcome everyone to how to sign your first SMA client in just 7 days. I want to run you through a few methods that I've seen clients of our own use and also what we personally leverage to sign our first client in 7 days. Now, you watching, you're probably very new to SMA. It's great that you're making a start and you're trying to sign your first ever client, which is a massive mindset shift and will allow you to scale a lot further. Even if you don't do SMA in the end, having that first client and knowing you can make money online, you can scale a business is just amazing. One, for your mindset and allows you to scale anything. And two, you are just building a business and you can go on from there. So the first method that we personally leverage to do this was connections. Now, I know when people say to you walk-ins and you're like, I don't want to do walk-ins, this is a little bit different because at the end of the day, no one wants to walk into a dentist or a chiropractor completely cold and be like, can we run your marketing? No one wants to do that. So what we did is we leveraged people we kind of knew, okay? So we asked every single person in our town, so we have 2 towns, we asked every single person in there, we asked all my parents' business friends that were business owners, every single business that we kind of knew because we had some sort of rapport with them. We've been in the shop before. There was a flower shop that we went into. We were always trying to sign them because like we'd been in them before, we knew who the people were. They weren't interested, but what we did at the end of this, we signed our first ever client and literally like straight away for social media management. And that's what I'd always recommend, okay, is trying to just get a client. It doesn't matter if you don't have a perfected offer, especially if you are new to online business as well. If you've scaled other business in the past, yes, you can then go and probably start off with a big Facebook ad offer. You can start off with an acquisition offer. But at the start, I would recommend you start very, very simple because you just don't have, one, you as a person, you don't have the knowledge, you don't have the capabilities to build out these systems and scale without the mindset shift of having a client, actually running a real business. It's just such a different mindset shift and sort of different life in general that you're going to have by doing this. So making sure that you actually do start off even from the beginning, okay, management, okay, I have a client, how do I communicate with the client? How do I get a sales call? How do I go into that store and speak to the person, okay? What's my outreach to them like, okay? How's my service delivery? It's just building foundational steps. Otherwise, if you go straight into the deep end, you're just gonna fail. You're probably gonna give your agency a bad reputation. You're gonna probably get discouraged as well. So what we did is we signed our first client for social media management every single month. It was a $200, $210 payment. I don't know what it was. It was very low ticket. We didn't do completely free because personally, I don't think free is always the best option. You need to feel like you're worth something. Sometimes free can be good, but I think there should always be an incentive behind it. Even if this is a really low retainer setup fee, which just covers the expenses, you make no profit, but it does cover the expenses. Or you do a sort of pay off lead or pay off results basis, which means, let's say if I was running a social media management back then, I would have said we were running a pizza shop. Let's say, look, every 100 followers, you pay us $100. Okay, I don't know how much their leads are worth and how much acquisition's worth per 100 followers, but you'd work that out and then give it to them that base, because if they're going to make money, they can give you a cut. Okay, if you're going up to a company with no experience, no nothing, trying to get your first client in 7 days, right, with no experience, they're not going to give you $2,000-$3,000. It's just unrealistic. Okay, it's just not possible. So I would personally recommend you go in the trenches at the very start. You get clients either through that way. So you could either do walk-ins for people that you know. You definitely know a lot of business owners in the area. Just that little bit of rapport helps you go over the line from a completely cold. If not, number 2, the second way, which I think is probably just as good, is sort of outreaching to businesses in way of a college or sort of university student, okay? Now, what this does is, one, it builds that rapport again, because you guys need to understand, in their eyes, in like a non-offensive way, we are, even us at the start, we are pointless, like completely pointless. If someone came to my business and my agency right now, never had clients, never results, no testimonials, no nothing, and they're like, oh, can we run your ads for this? I'll be like, completely no, okay? But just adding that sort of system of like, okay, I'm a college student, I'm trying to do this for my university, I'm trying to just build this up, do X, do Y, trying to get results, etc. And they may just pay you just what you think at the end. You could be like, look, this could be completely free. If you want to pay me in at the end, that's completely fine. Because I just do believe at the start, the money is just kind of pointless, okay? The experience that you get is always going to be worth more than, oh, let's say we get $1,000. What are we going to do with that? Send more outreach for an offer that we don't really know because we've just had awful service delivery, or we can get 5, 10, 20 clients through the door for even less. Let's say we lose out on $4,000. When I tell you you'll scale and make that back in a second, it's a joke, okay? So making sure that you do get your first client on very, very early, making sure that you are doing sort of nothing out of the ordinary, nothing extraordinary at the very start, because it's just not really possible, okay? And what we did, and I'll sort of tell you our evolution from here. So when we signed our first client in the 7 days, and like I just said, I sort of skipped over it, but you can be a college student, go that way, and outreach to cold businesses. That's number 2, that's a very good way. What I was saying is, when we came out with that, after a month of doing this, we signed a few more management clients and we really understood the systems behind it. We started leveraging our acquisition system. So we started getting money in from our pizza shop client. We brought Lemlist. We started buying leads. We started really toning down on cold email. So that was our acquisition funnel at the start. So we really mastered that for the first month, 2 months, 3 months. And then what we did is we upgraded ourselves. Okay. So now we had the money to pay for Lemlist, and then we started buying more leads, and we started targeting e-com brands with Facebook ads. And now that's a different story if you've seen that before. It didn't go too well. We went to around $4,000, $5,000 a month revenue. Okay. That's not profit. We're spending all our money on leads. We're sending about 1,000 cold emails a week, which is completely crazy numbers for what we were actually getting in return. But that's just sort of the struggle that we had to go through. And from there, it's hard to explain, but from your first client, you just level up as an entrepreneur and you understand how to do it. Like if I went to complete zero again today, I would follow that exact same method. I'd work for someone for free. I'd start getting case studies, results, testimonials, absolutely everything I would start getting for myself to leverage for my business, my personal brand, etc., to then go and scale. Okay, because these results, these testimonials stay with you forever. The extra $200, $300, $400 don't. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to say. If you can then sign a client very quickly for either free or anything, to get the testimonials, to get the results, to get the case studies, etc., it will be so much more worth it. Okay, so if you do want to help sign in your first SMA client, there is a free course down below, completely free. You can sign up if you want. I'm not forcing you. And then down below also, you can message me on Instagram, harveywarner.mx. But apart from that, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.